All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep, and he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
No, check, Patriot! Gun! Rush it! Hot! Over!
Watch 98! Mayfield on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Higgins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Rashard Higgins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Focus. Turn, let's go. Check 52. He's moving, boys, he's moving. Takes 2 of them. Blue Thursday.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
I know every time we watch Le'Veon Bell play, we think about him making people miss the hesitation move. But you remember, he came out of Michigan State as a bruiser and a thumper, and he still has those capabilities.
At 225 pounds, an underrated part of his game.
Let's go. All right, let's go get it now, all right?
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pre-game. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too.
Alert! 3 down. Back.
On second down, it's Bell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Tight end's right. You got three down.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Detroit! Detroit! Check! 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 Motion!
Now a handoff. Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun! 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 Gun!
On 3rd down, Johnson. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Hey, you got 3 squirrel!
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 32-yard line.
Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there. Double.
They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Larry Ogunjobi getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
3 down. Squirrel! Mike, 53.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bell. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. 23 yards on the play.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers, and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It was Denzel Ward in from his corner spot there to take him down for the loss. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. It's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Let's go. We got three, fellas. We got three. Like I said. Check. 53's Mike. Check.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. This is caught. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll go for it with Bell. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this Browns defense stands tall. They begin the drive with Johnson. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk about football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge differences we know between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
3 down.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, Definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Check 43.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, 78 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. It's the Pro Bowler Jamie Collins that makes the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go. Big. Tight end right. You got 3 down. Black.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And down he'll go at the 25. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Tight left. Double. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Back to the air, Roethlisberger after the pick 6. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Kings.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the rookie Denzel Ward. So they lost yardage and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty.
Right now, look at 56.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Johnson on the counter. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
I smell fear in that offense.
No. Check. Patriot.
On second down, Johnson uses the spin. He finds some open field here. And he's brought down after a good gain. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Leopard. Come on, boys, come on. All right, now, look at 56. 56. Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over. Detroit.
First down, Mayfield. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And the Steelers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Jordan Berry now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10.
Detroit! Gun!
Final play of the half, Mayfield. He's going to take another shot here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
What would you have said to me if I told you in pregame that Big Ben and Antonio Brown wouldn't have hooked up until the second half?
I would say that they'd be losing, and they are.
Yeah, they are, and they've got to find a way now to continue to connect and try and get their team back in this game.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Kings. 3 down. Kings. Wide. Get wide. Focus. 53.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Ben to throw again. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
My bad, guys. My bad, guys.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Now let's go. 3-19. Leopard, 3-19. Detroit. Hot. Detroit. Hot.
Mayfield now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Now, Barney. All right, now, Lucky 56. Hot.
On third down, Mayfield. And an alley to run. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Fielded at the 20. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Snickers, 66.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Switzer now to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Let's go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Double.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jamie Collins leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Good job.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger.
35's the mark. Kings. Here we go.
Now Roethlisberger. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Breanne Bonnie Calhoun. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Here's Johnson, and he stopped immediately there. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney.
Shift.
2nd down, Mayfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Browns on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Check three, check three, check three. Watch 98, watch 98. 98's the mic. Let's go.
Johnson. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Zane Gonzalez now to try the Browns field goal. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter. And it's no good. Gonzalez pulled it, and this score will stay right where it is.
Heinz Field has always been a tough place for field goal kickers. It's just a very heavy sod, plus you've got an open end of the field with wind coming off the Allegheny. And sure enough, he kind of chunks this one, and it's no good.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
4 down, 4 down. Good job, guys. Big edge, big edge, big edge. Quarter.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 27.
4 down. These two. 4 down. 24. Check 24.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it, baby. Bang, 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 bang. Good job, guys. Mike 35, Mike 35. Hey! Get the ball. Motion.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Following the interception, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Now Bell. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They get it to him running left. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
You got three down.
Jack 16.
Watch 81.
25, check 25.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Let's go.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Watch twist.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Gun.
98. Watch 98.
Gun.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got room. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
3 down. Hey, check.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Hey, alert 3. Slam. Kill.
Now Johnson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Browns on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Switch.
Watch you now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
98 for Mike.
Throwing. Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And an alley to run. He's got daylight. 20, 10, 5. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Now Roethlisberger throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. I want to go back to something you said in the 1st quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
AB. What is that?
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Antonio Brown. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead's down to 2 scores now at 16. 2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
Switch. Slam.
Hot!
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
You ain't going.
Leopard! Detroit!
Check.
Hot!
Check.
Detroit!
98. Watch 98.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hot!
Mayfield to throw it. Forced out to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Browns on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Deuce. Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
Detroit!
They'll run it with Johnson. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This to make it a 3-score game late.
Fumble.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 46. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch 8-9.
Blue, there's a...
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. The first NFL pick for the rookie Denzel Ward. The 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Steelers' offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he takes this down deep into Cleveland territory. And that one results in 35 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. That is caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
Double, double. 56 is the mic. 56 is the mic.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. And now Big Ben will lead the Steelers up to go for 2. To throw here, Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Browns, a loss would have really hurt. As it stands, they finished the first half at 3-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they dropped just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.